Welcome back, everybody, to the MUTMen podcast, episode 120. How y'all doing today? Real quick, before we get into the introductions, if you guys listen to us on iTunes, rate us 5 stars, please. It helps out a lot. You can give us 4 stars, but that basically means you're a hater. So 5 stars or no star. No, actually, no, that's terrible. We want 5 stars. But,
well, if they don't if they don't like the podcast, go ahead and give a 0.
No. If you don't like the podcast, give us 5 stars. Don't come back. I think that's fair. Just give us 5. Just say 5 stars. It was trash, but they told me to give me 5 stars, and that's what we did. And then just leave. Don't come back. But if you're staying, you haven't reviewed us yet. You're being a hater right now. Give us 5 stars. But that voice you heard in the background is Gut Fox, man. So how you doing, brother?
Oh, not bad, Tex. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm hot right now. I shouldn't have ordered a leather chair because my back's sticking to it.
But that's part of the benefit. Some people like it sticky.
Yeah, I fell asleep on a leather couch once, and I have never fallen asleep on anything leather again. So like, I don't like that. Face gets stuck to the cushion. You can't move. It's so scary.
I could just see it. You get up and there's a cushion stuck to your face. Like,
yeah, it's like I can't move. And you're like, of course, obviously, since you've been sleeping on the leather cushion, your body just like it's like hotter. So you're having sweating, so you're parched. You can't call for help. It's a scary situation, man. I have never fallen on a leather couch ever in my life since then.
Yeah. Well, was that the weirdest place you've ever fallen asleep, or what's the weirdest? Can this be your text message?
Let's see. My text message. Why are we growling? You're asleep. And why are you growling? All right.
What's the weirdest place you've fallen asleep then?
Weirdest place I've fallen asleep. See, I'm not a really big public sleeper, so like I can never fall asleep in school or on the bus. Like some people can. Some people can just fall asleep like literally on the bus. I'm like, how can you do that? Because you might miss your stop, and all of a sudden you're stuck here for another hour. I guess the weirdest place I fell asleep was probably church when I was like younger. But I'm not really a good public sleeper.
Oh, okay.
What about you? You ever fall asleep like at work or like on the job?
Not at work, but you pass out drunk places that you don't really think are very safe. But the back alley type of stuff, and then you wake up with a sore butt, that kind of stuff. I guess that's the weirdest. But what's the text message for this week?
All right, the text message this week is never trust these Tinder e-hoes.
Really?
Never. All right, so this is kind of a funny story. So I was spitting my bestest game on this little PYT, which is a pretty young thing, Gut Fox, for you. The last time I said PYT, you were kind of confused.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't understand acronyms. I'm not good with letters and words.
Don't listen to Michael Jackson or Wale. And it was going well, man. Like, a conversation was going pretty well. I started out with, like, top 4 cereals, and she responded. And we started going back and forth. I found out she was vegan. I was like, I got this fire cereal recipe I've been working on. That's for vegans. I can break it out if you want. Everything's going well. So I get her information, start Snapchat, she ends up calling me on Snapchat, and she's like, yo, your birthday's coming up soon. Let's just chill. Let's kick it. Let's hang out. I'm like, bet. Let's do that. And then a couple of days later, she blocked me on Tinder. Not Tinder, on Snapchat. Not blocked, but unfriended me. And then in her Snapchat story was a dude that she was with. So I think I was just bait, or like I was the dude that put pressure on her, quote unquote, man. She wanted to be her man in order to like finally ask her to be her girlfriend. Because why would she be out here making plans and setting stuff up if she had an ulterior motive to be with the other dude? You know what I'm saying?
So you're feeling used.
I feel like I got played and used for her devious plan. It's a good plan, though.
Yeah, I mean, could I look on the bright side and say maybe she was just trying out, playing the field, and maybe just got unlucky with the timing. Like, this guy was able, his birthday was a few days before yours. So they hung out first, and he was able to secure the bag.
That's probably it, though. That's probably what it was. That's my guess. Actually, that's a good theory, though, because, like, my guess was that she just was trying to like do that ultimatum stuff that we should be together. The guy's like, nah, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. And then she starts like hinting that she's talking to another dude. And the guy has to put like, oh, okay. So the guy he feels pressured to make the situation happen right now.
If that's the case, you dodged a bullet. If that's the relationship, I think you definitely didn't want to go on that one.
No, I'm glad that it was the case. It's just kind of funny though, so I just felt like bringing it up. So don't trust these girls on Tinder, man. They be out here trying to set you up.
Yeah, don't open your heart to anybody. Be a cold-hearted bastard is what Tex is saying.
No, I didn't say that. Don't do that, because that's kind of how we get the problems in the world we got today. Just be nice, but also have an edge to you. You know?
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Like a badass with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so let's get through. Here's the agenda that we got today. It's a long one. I think this is going to be a long podcast. I've said these summer ones only should be an hour long, but we always talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We got them hooked. We got some angry people in the comments last week and on Twitter that it was only like 40 minutes with Clint. But here we are. It's going to be a long one because we got a few weeks to catch up on. So we got the reactions to the Clint podcast, and we'll go into a lot of depth near the end of the show on that because questions from the comment section on that. We're going to talk about the creators, CFM for 19, Antonio Brown being on the cover of Madden 19, the CFM ratings being out, the Elite Starters, Legends, Training Points, and the pre-orders for Madden 19, and if it's worth it or not. The rookie premieres, I mean, that's kind of old news, but we didn't have a podcast on it, so we're just going to talk about that promo a little bit. Not too much on that. But we're going to talk about 3 things we liked and 3 things we didn't like about Madden 18. I didn't prep at all for that, so that's going to be off the top of my head, and it's going to be probably terrible, and you guys say boo and probably rate us 3 stars. Anyways, Madden 18 and the content being over for MUT. We're going to talk about what Guru said on Twitter about that. Madden 19 and its issues, I guess, and what Texas is kind of hating on lately. And then, we'll wrap up with the questions from the comment section from last week, like I talked about before. So, right on to, I want to mention something. Me and Tex had a DM conversation earlier this week about the MUTMen podcast, and I created a spreadsheet of the numbers we had and the viewers versus our other videos. And I just want to say, off the bat, the MUTMen podcast has passed content review for Madden 19. So we will continue with the MUTMen podcast going forward. So everybody, let's have a round of applause. Tex, we're gonna keep it going.
Clap, yay! Probably should have did this when I was like on it for like a full year. I forgot that like passed like 4 months ago, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still strong.
That's right. We're still going hard because I noticed I did a breakdown, and our videos after the MUTMen podcast are statistically worse than the ones before it, but it's not as bad of a hit. And we're willing to take that hit to put out the interviews with creators and EA people, because I think that's it's weird because they don't get good numbers, but people that seem to want the depth of MUT tune into the podcast for kind of all the topics we talk about, because it's more like I don't know how to talk. I don't want to like do this without like jerking myself off too much, but I feel like we really kind of delve deep into the mode rather than just kind of hit the shallowness of a lot of like maybe our gameplay videos and more entertaining stuff that we do. This is more thought music. What do you think, Tex?
I agree. Like this is for those that are mud heads, and I'm glad that people are finding a place that they can just listen to a lot of the content, because I feel like if we don't upload for like 2 or 3 weeks, like I can just see it on Twitter when you don't upload on a Friday, like they get so mad. So like people actually do like this content, and we weren't considering stopping it. We were considering moving it to another channel that was strictly for this type of style of content, where it's free thought, free roaming and stuff like that. But we're keeping our main channels, and also on iTunes, maybe on Stitch Radio in the future. But yeah.
Does that help? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like everybody like does podcasts. They do Stitcher Radio. They do like Spotify, stuff like that. I wonder if we can get on Spotify. Can we get on Spotify? No, Spotify got podcasts now.
Probably. I mean, if I can get on iTunes, that was by hook or by crook. I got it on iTunes, so maybe I'll look into that before 19 then, because I actually haven't investigated Spotify. Okay, so let's talk about let me get your overarching opinion on the Clint podcast from last week and what you thought about the podcast.
All right, so the Clint podcast, I wish it was a lot longer than it was. Only having 6 questions apiece with him. Felt like that was kind of short. And after reading kind of some of the comment stuff on it, it wasn't as revealing as I would have hoped it would have been.
Yeah.
Because mostly the time constraint, and obviously the talking about the beta didn't actually exist, quote unquote, because you couldn't answer any questions about it. There was some stuff that we did get information on. Obviously, you were kind of mocking the whole uniform and the gear questions, but that did finally clear up some things people had expectations for. But it just, while great to have access to them, it still felt like we didn't really have access to a lot of the information that we wanted. I feel like it felt more like we were giving him more feedback in that whole interview than he was kind of giving us answers to our questions.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Because it was a lot of, he did mention that we were giving a feedback that maybe he hadn't heard before, and some people in the comments made mention of that. And you're right. I do think it was more us providing input and our thoughts on the game rather than him answering questions, because he couldn't answer about the beta. I think Osiris in the comment section even talked about, Clint doesn't want to lose his job by talking about things he shouldn't talk about, like the beta. I mean, but here's the thing, like, Clint isn't like the boss. I mean, there's tons of levels above him, so I can see why he wouldn't want to reveal stuff that maybe his bosses would be angry about. But he is the lead gameplay guy, so I mean, he should have some discretion when it comes to the gameplay. But maybe because he's not marketing, he doesn't feel comfortable revealing some of the things that maybe the marketing department will.
Yeah, my guess is that too. Plus, he doesn't want to make any promises until like everything's finally finished, because you don't want to upset a lot of people by saying this is what this is.
Yeah,
and it doesn't actually end up in the final game. So I can understand why you're being so cautious. That I guess if we get it back on, probably the game's fully launched, you can have more freedom to discuss a lot of stuff that we had issues with.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, all right, so as much as we make fun of Madden being like, just call blank play and blank happens and you can just cheese them like this, like, there is a lot of depth to this game when you really get into it. Like, we can talk to Clint for 3 hours and literally only get through like half of what we want to talk about in that podcast, because when you look into the gameplay with with every single stat that interacts with each other and learning about what they do and learning about how they interact with each other, it is quite a lot of calculations that go on in the field at once, and why and I talked about spaghetti code, but why the spaghetti code kind of interacts with each other strangely at times, and why they, like, I mean, I think a revealing part of that podcast was the fact that he said that defensive linemen can't push offensive linemen like offensive linemen can push defensive linemen, because it ends up tripping up the quarterback and running back and makes the game look really terrible. So that's something, because in real life, defensive linemen blowing up offensive linemen on runs and blowing up a play like that, it is basically their job. Like, that's how they stop a lot of runs, because there was no running lane there because the defensive lineman blew up maybe the stretch or anything like that. So the fact that he understands, I mean, he's able to tell us, like, there are just technology limitations for what they can do in interactions, and they can't maybe get to it all every year. It's nice for them to say and tell us these things, but you're right, maybe, I don't know, what would you have wanted him to reveal more than he was able to get to? Text. Do you have any examples? Or
I just wish you could have just talked openly about the beta. Like, there was a lot of stuff that we had questions regarding that we just couldn't, like, ask. Like, so with the zones being broken first, like, for the first, whatever. I'm discussing the beta here. Well, it's on my channel. Strike me down. Don't strike me down, EA, but just don't listen to this portion of the podcast. I was about to get all bold, but they might do something dangerous.
Fight Club.
All right, Fight Club. Like, with the zones being broken, what caused that? Like, whose idea was it to make all the zones man match? But like, and how did that get approved? Because like, I want to know the whole thought process behind that, because that wasn't why was cover 4 and cover 3 basically man coverage, and man coverage is man coverage. Like, what's going on there? But we couldn't talk about that because we couldn't actually talk about the beta.
Yeah,
and then the update came out the same week, that same day as 2, so we couldn't talk about what fix with it.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a lot of those issues when the game launches, too. Like, after the patch, they patched a lot of that man-match system. But, like, I still went against cover 4 palms, and that switched off to man coverage, and I was still able to one-play that pretty easily with the post route. Mm-hmm. So, there's still a lot of issues with the beta. Hopefully it's solved. But you're right. It is, I mean, I guess EA is not about, whose idea and who's responsible for this, because, they don't want to call out individual developers. Yeah, but, I mean, you're right. And that's one of the things, like, you never miss it till it's gone, or you never know what you got till it's gone. Rex was very, very open with us on the podcast, and
definitely
always open about almost everything going on in the game. Like, there was a couple things I think he took heat that wasn't really necessarily his fault, but he was like kind of the fall guy because he was like in charge or whatever. But it is kind of I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it was very nice to hear from Rex. But maybe, hopefully, we can get the new lead on of the game, but we'll see going forward. Any other thoughts on the Clint's podcast before we just shelf it to the end?
No, we can. We want to go to the questions right now. I can put that at the end. Let's go to the end for that. We're gonna do it right now.
Yeah, we'll do the comment sections at the end, like we always do.
Because I know it's mostly like people have questions about that, so we'll come back to that. So
yeah,
just be patient,
all right.
People.
So there is going to be a creators CFM. Basically, YouTubers, Twitch streamers are going. It's mostly YouTubers are going to put together. Or RBT put this together, and something that maybe we'll want to have him on the podcast, or maybe we'll do a video on it later. with him, but I'm sure, well, I'll be doing a ton of videos on this. I'm sure you will too, Texas. The creator CFM through the year. So basically a bunch of YouTubers and like Problem is a Twitch streamer getting together for the CFM. Now there's going to be a fantasy draft. What's up?
I just like he said a bunch of YouTubers in the Problem.
Yeah, well, Problem's a streamer. He had a YouTube channel. He did a little bit with last year, and he didn't do as much, but we'll see what he does. But I mean, the creator CFM, if you go to the creators CFM Twitter page, you can see whoever they're following are the people in the league. So I'll just run down quick all the names in the league. All right, we have CFons, U Texas, ScoMo, TD Presents, Gaming Powerhouse, Bengal, Problem, QJB, Victionary, Chewbacca Lemma, Darius P, KKE, S. Is that KKS? I mean, does he he just goes by K, right? I can just call him K.
Yeah, you call him K.
Okay. Wheels, Sports Gamer Online, Good Gaming Bro, Real Your Boy Pizza, CC, Eric Rayweather, Cookie Boy, Cullen Burger, Popular Stranger, CK Birds, MMG, Stope, YouTube, Perium Crow, Toke Nasty, your boy Savage, Lights Out, Mike Mack, TD Barrett, and RBT. So, and then I'm in it also. So, a lot of huge names. Almost 10 million subscribers worth of name in the Madden community. Like, this is every single ginormous YouTuber with the exception of, like, say, one or two. Like, no Anto. But I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how long do you think before we lose somebody because of time restraints on their end in the CFM, Texas? Like, I don't want to start off negative, but let's just start with the negative.
1 month.
You think 1 month somebody's
like CFMs are so. Fortunately, I think it's gonna be once a week. It's gonna be the simulation or the for you to schedule your opponent matchup, which gives you basically, I guess, 1 to 3 videos you can put up a week for YouTube people and people who are gonna stream the stuff. But it's kind of hard to kind of manage your time around certain things. Mostly all these guys are big, so a lot of these guys may not have full-time jobs, but they got responsibilities still. Maybe they got to go pick up their kids from school. Maybe they got to go to school themselves. And trying to fix your schedule around somebody else's schedule for a game may not work properly. And also on top of that, there's a lot of egos in here still. And some of those egos might get mad at other egos, and then all of a sudden they get mad and fight and leave. That's what happened to the that YouTuber tournament that they set up last year.
Yeah, you're right. There's a few that I think might be time bombs, but there's luckily I'm not gonna reference, but there's one person that isn't in the. What's that?
What? I didn't say anything.
I was gonna say there's one person that isn't in the tournament this year or isn't in the CFM that essentially blew it up last year.
Yeah, true.
So hopefully it's better going forward. But I'm excited. I think it'll be a good time. We've had most of these people on the podcast. I mean, we haven't had Lights, have we? We haven't had TD Barrett, but we've had TD Presents. We haven't had RBT, but we've had Mike Mack, Savage.
We had RBT.
We had RBT. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about our DMs. Anyways, yes. So we had Toke a long time ago. MMG's been here, CK's been here, Berg's been here, Cookie Boy's been here, Rayweather's been here, Pizza has not, Popular Stranger has not, Good Game Bro has not, CC has not, SGO has been on, Wheels has been on, K has not, Darius P has
K's
not.
Bad.
What's that?
K's bad.
No, he's not. K's welcome anytime.
K's bad.
K
over my dead body.
Why are you starting up drama already?
It's not drama.
I
told Kate to his face.
Stop. We're not gonna air dirty laundry.
In Los Angeles.
We're not doing it.
No, it's not dirty laundry. I told Kate in Los Angeles, you're banned from the podcast. Every time I ask you on, you cancel. So I told him, you're banned. And just start laughing.
Yeah, Kay, you're welcome anytime. Victionary has been on. QJB hasn't. Problem's been on. TD Presents been on. Gaming Powerhouse has been on. Bengal's been on. ScoMo's been on. So everybody that's listening to the podcast right now should be very familiar with this league and a lot of the creators. So we'll all be battling. Hey, Texas, do you think there should be like a grand prize for winning the Super Bowl in the CFM, or we just don't want to donate the Problem?
What would the grand prize be? I'm not buying into this. Like yo, $100? No, I'm good. I got it. But there probably should be something, I think. Just like maybe a trophy that we all can like maybe chip into because one person can just have in the background of their videos.
Like, here's the thing. Okay, so a lot of these Madden personalities, there's a few of them here, like over 500,000 subs. Like, they're on the precipice of being like legit celebrities. Like, I think legit celebrities, we talked about A-list, B-list, whatever in our podcast a few weeks ago. Legit celebrities, like, what, 10 million subscribers? What do you say? Like, some of these guys that are just breaching 1 million, I mean, that's, once you get up there and you get a couple more bangers like Laserbeam, like, he started in Madden, now he's really blowing up on Fortnite. Like, Pizza, there's some guys, so you're right about them being busy, and it'll be hopefully a good experience. We'll just
I hope we can all make this work out. But like that's the reason why the CFM last year that people were doing the primetime CFM, which was subscribers and some YouTubers, had to end. I remember because some people would just not play people. Like one of the guys, I had the Browns, so keep this in mind. I was like 13-0. The guy didn't want to play me because last time he played, I whipped his ass. So he basically didn't schedule any game with me. I told the guy that was in charge, and he simmed the game, and I lost.
Oh, wow.
So I left. I'm like, the dude wouldn't schedule a game with me.
How come I didn't know this? What was this again?
Primetime CFM. It wasn't anything too crazy. It was ScoMo, Chase, Holdu, who does like a lot of the EA graphics, and I think Toke was in it. And Cookie Boy. It wasn't that many teams that were in this league. Many YouTubers. It was mostly like it wasn't that busy, but it was a fun time, but we ended up getting a lot of people leaving because of the way people were playing. So I got one guy quit. Like this is how the game went. Came out. I'm Cleveland Browns, and I have RG3s 2 years ago. This is when the first thing started. And so I did a play action pass. I ran out of the pocket. Playmaker got up the field, threw a touchdown pass. The guy quit the game and said I was hiking and hauling every single time.
Hiking and what?
Hiking and hauling.
What does that mean?
Where I would get the ball with the quarterback who's fast and just run out of the pocket and throw the ball down the field.
Oh.
And the guy said, you can't abuse that. I said, we were literally in the second quarter. How can I abuse something if we're in the second quarter? And luckily, those games, you streamed them all. Like, I had the game being recorded at the time. So I'm like, yo, there's nothing violating here. I ran a play-action bootleg, and I ran out, playmaker got the field, and he happened to get open. How am I cheesing? And so the guy quit, and he snitched on me, and then left the league. So we're going to see a lot of that, I would think, potentially, especially if we get a competitive player or two in here out here doing a bunch of, like, shenanigans that can't be stopped.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree. It's gonna be tough. I mean, as much as people say this is for entertainment, like all of us in the end are competitive. Like, and nobody likes to lose. So
especially on YouTube, people like
because you get people in the comment section saying how trash you are, and you just don't want to see that, right? You literally make your living off a game, and if people are calling you trash at your living, you're gonna take that personally.
Definitely. I'm telling you right now, though, if I match it with QJB, I'm blowing him out.
Why is that?
I don't think
Why
QJB plays mad like I play Madden, or like you play Madden.
Why him specifically?
Huh?
Why him specifically?
He's one of the big dogs that we got here, so I gotta go with the big dog's neck.
All right, I love it. That's funny. All right, so. Yeah, everybody look forward to that. I still don't know exactly what type of content I want to do with it. Obviously videos, but I don't know what kind of hype what kind of hype do we want to do with it? Like, what else can we add to it?
You might have to stream yours and then just like do the post commentary after the fact on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like get your reactions live when you're playing and then just cut it up and then maybe do a live comment on top of it because those videos are gonna be long. Like at least 30 to 45 minutes. Like just depending on how crazy the game is. And you also got to do like your roster, the injuries, you got to maybe do some like it's going to be a long process. So what I probably envision be the best success for the CFM stuff is just to keep people updated on the regular. Like maybe have one where you're just going over like some stats and stuff and then one just going over the gameplay.
Yeah.
Might be the best bet.
Yeah, so it'll start maybe a month into the Madden season. Give us all like a little bit to get into the game. What I worry is that it waits too long, and then like the meta gets set, and then we get a bunch of boring schemes that we're playing against. So, anyways, that should be a fun one. We'll see how it turns out and who ends up being in the league and staying long term. And hopefully it goes longer in the season. Hopefully it lasts all year, but we'll see. So, anyways, Antonio.
Before you get out, for those that want to know more information about it, we're not going to be able to choose our teams. So it's going to be completely random. I probably should be announcing this, right? I'm announcing it. So we're gonna. So
he's put it out. Yeah.
So Gutfox might get stuck with the Ravens for all we know. His hated rival.
Yeah. Yeah, it might. I always, because it's gonna be fantasy draft. I thought we should be.
Oh,
able
it was a
to,
fantasy draft?
Yeah.
We agreed to that?
Yeah.
When did we agree? Dog, I'm not drafted. You know how long does it go? I might just back out now. Like, it might mess my prediction up, bro.
You really haven't kept up with the group DM.
That group chat is the most annoying spam thing in the world, bro.
Just mute it and catch up when you get to it.
Dog, I don't like reading. You think I'm gonna read a group chat?
I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that other than I feel you. Reading's the worst.
But no, okay. So a fantasy draft with 32 people drafting one player over 20 rounds.
It's
going
to
take 75 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be. I luckily was one of the few people that argued to only go a few rounds. So people wanted to go all 55 rounds, and I was like, "Stop, no." So I was one of the few people.
What kind of masochists are we going to be playing Madden with? 55?
I don't know. There's some yeah, well, there's some sim people in the league. So I said let's go, 25 rounds and then sim the rest for everybody, so we can manage our time. But then I guess, I was one of the few voices for that. So the consensus ended up we compromised at 35 rounds then sim, but anybody can leave at any time they want. So I'm sure some people will just last for a few rounds, draft their favorite few players, and then leave and have the computer draft for them.
Bro, 35 rounds.
Yeah, I'll be streaming it though, so it'll be good stream content, right?
All right, we'll see if I'm still in the league by that time comes up.
Literally gonna be 8 hours.
Dog, it's gonna be so long. It's gonna be so long. All right, let's get to the next one before I message this group chat and I'm out.
Antonio Brown is on the cover of Madden 19. So they haven't officially revealed it yet, but there's a lot of breadcrumbs leading to that. I already put out my video saying it's official because there's way too much evidence, plus what I've heard in private, saying Antonio Brown's on the cover of the regular version. Because we know Owens is on the cover of the Hall of Fame edition. So what do two wide receivers being on the cover of Madden 19 mean for the wide receiver play? I know we got the new route running for 19, and Tom Brady was the pocket passer for the why can't I think of the name? Target passing in 18, something I forgot in my video. But what does two receivers being on the cover mean for 19?
Well, you already know Terrell Owens is going to be getting a card day one. I wonder if that means MUTMen is going to be Antonio Brown.
No, but I mean, what does it mean for the game mechanics? Not MUT.
Oh, I always think about MUT about game mechanics. I don't know because there was no new feature revealed in the beta, and there was no new feature I played at the EA Play that was receiver specific besides face catching, which you can do in years previously. So I don't really know what that has to do with Madden. Maybe this is something to do with the route running stuff. Antonio Brown's kind of the jack of all trades guy, so that's why they separated route running this year. So we got route running short, medium, and deep because he's a guy who can do pretty much whatever you want him to.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because of him and T.O. being undercover.
Also, another thing, I remember this now. Somebody pointed out in my comment section the celebrations that we're getting, the Fortnite celebrations, and Owens was very big on celebrations. The popcorn and the star. So maybe it's celebration focused too for Antonio Brown and Owens.
Well, the thing with Antonio Brown, he's always had his celebrations in the game. It's just certain ones that he had to stay. His front flip was in the game for 2 years.
Yeah, and they didn't really advertise it a ton.
No, they didn't advertise it at all. You could trigger it occasionally, but Antonio Brown's not really the celebratory guy in the Steelers. It's Juju. Juju's the celebration king around those parts.
I don't know. Antonio's out here nut hugging goalposts.
Yeah, while Juju's out here playing craps. Or no, not playing craps. Why I say he's playing dice. That's what he's playing.
Doing the Hadouken.
Yeah, not the Kamehameha, whatever it is, F that Dragon Ball stuff. But yeah, so Juju's more the celebratory guy on that team. But with Antonio Brown being in there, I guess you got more of the receiver, the perfect receiver element with some of the stuff we'll be seeing with the new ratings. And then with T.O. just being the flashy, showboaty guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could see it being that. I don't know. So their big marketing focuses are these celebrations? How weird is that? Right?
I mean, it's not what put Fortnite on the map, but Fortnite has got a lot of whatever. So the new season comes out in 2 days, 3 days before probably when this podcast goes live. So it's gonna be funny when Fortnite's out here with new dance celebrations that people like that Drake "Do You Love Me" stuff that's going on with the Kiki "Do You Love Me." I don't know if you see any of that stuff on Twitter. What is it? I don't even know the damn name of it. The Shimmy Challenge? It's called the Shimmy. The Shimmy Challenge? You seen that?
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
So my guess is if Fortnite wanted to be like hip and funny, they can just like immediately do that. And so and that gets some publicity. So I think EA's trying to go the same path, because if people have celebrations in the game that they're doing in real life, and we see them updated in real time, that can allow better marketing opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, how bad is it that the game we're playing is like just following other games? You know what I mean? Like Fortnite is setting these trends, and Madden's just following. I mean, like Fortnite can put it together in like a couple days and put a new dance in, whereas Madden takes an entire cycle to put it in their game.
It's really disappointing, because it seems like it's really hard. It's really easy to be a leader in this instance, but that's where real leadership kind of shows its true force. If you could actually impact other games, then you're doing something right. But Madden seems to not want to take that step. They kind of want to see someone else test the waters out first, which just says to me they're a bunch of cowards that are on top of EA.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's what that basically means to me. They're a bunch of people that kind of like the status quo, don't want to take any risks by being innovative. Not about the developers, but just people who are up top that basically pay the developers.
Yeah, it's top down. So I definitely agree with you there, and it's something I've rallied against Madden for quite a bit, is that they don't take enough chances, they don't innovate enough. And I mean, I don't know if it's just like because they don't have enough staff there to do a lot of cool new things. Like the newest big feature they put in their game, outside of say like long shot, which is just a copy paste from the FIFA and NBA 2K modes, it's like MUT squads, but they had that previously. So like, what's the innovation? Last time they innovated was salary cap in 16. But I've been on that rant a lot on this podcast that they don't innovate. But it's just kind of sad, Madden was the leader. Madden was the king of gaming in 04 and 05 with those series, 06 even. But then they transitioned to the new systems. They couldn't really do very well. And then like it just got to be like a bureaucracy after that. And there was so much money involved in this game, and everybody had their input from the suits on up on Madden. And it just kind of became like, okay, what can we do this year to hopefully sell the same amount? Well, let's buy the NFL rights and just kind of coast for the next 15 years. And it's sad when you think about it long term. And then like you see what Fortnite has done to gaming, and the big event, the big rocket launch that's seen around the world. Millions of people are watching YouTube videos about, I think we were talking about Laserbeam. He did one like, we tried to stop the rocket, and got 20 bajillion views. And it's so crazy, like these events that they put in Fortnite, and you just realize what Madden's doing, and it's like, oh, nothing, huh? It's so, I don't know. It hopefully, now that Fortnite is dominating everything, is a competition for everybody, and that competition drives Madden, unlike an NFL 2K could, because it's gone.
Yeah, so, with the competition thing there, they can just copy what they're doing and try to do it better. Because even if you can't really innovate, you can just always improve upon what already exists. And so if you got better guys that can like copy what they're doing, but also make it better for you, what your situation might be, that can also work as well.
True. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong in, say, necessarily like seeing what other games are doing and then incorporating it into your game. It's just they don't do it better.
No, they don't do it at all. That's the main issue.
That's another thing. Yeah.
They don't do it at all. Like the EA could have been at the forefront of celebrations this past year, but remember when Rex came on the podcast?
We literally told him, but didn't we?
Yeah, he told us that they're going to be doing update. No, I don't think he told us. I think he said it on Twitter. He said it somewhere. I'm not being Dunning.
Yeah, we brought it up. We brought it up and asked him about it.
I'm not being. It's not the Mandela effect. I'm pretty sure he brought it up, saying that they're going to do weekly or every so often updates that are going to be incorporated with real time athletes on the field, and it never happened. And then Fortnite had to come to Fortnite had to change their entire game from just being a zombie PvE to being a PvP game, copying PUBG, and all of a sudden EA like, you know what? Let's just add celebration to the game. Let's add all the Fortnite stuff too while we're at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest game in the world is just a straight copy. So
and now we're gonna be seeing a lot more of actual mocap people coming down there to do certain dance. You're gonna see them getting reference from like guys in the NFL, what they're doing on the field, and then hopefully it being Madden within the next couple of weeks, because it's the easiest thing in the world. Just because they don't gotta do any of the work. Well, the mocappers do, but like all they gotta do is just find somebody doing something cool they can just add to the game. They don't gotta actually bring them down there.
And I mean, like, even these innovative things, and like not like dancing so super innovative or whatever, but like how bad it is, and not necessarily having competition. Like they don't even have run pass options or D-line stunts. I know we asked Clint about that, and he's like, we just couldn't get it in this year, and like that in itself says like, what's up? Like, where's the staffing? Why can't they fit this in? I know he says it touches everything and it's tough to do, and sure, I believe him, but my God, it's the NFL. Like, figure out a way of doing it.
But my guess is they haven't been trying to put that in until recently, though, because you think about it, when Cam got drafted, well, even back to Vic. Did the Falcons run any RPOs back when Vic was playing, or is that like something that I know college were doing that, but I didn't see a lot of NFL teams doing that until
not that far.
Yes.
Well, it's been in the NFL for a while, for a long time, but really it's coming to huge in the last few seasons.
Yeah, so when the Panthers first got Cam, that's when I started seeing a lot of the RPOs that were there. And they've been doing it consistently for the past several years, and EA just now thinking about adding it to the game. So my guess is their focus wasn't on adding that until later on. And they probably only had like a couple of years to actually kind of work on it, whereas if they would have been working on it for the past 7, maybe we would have seen it in the game right now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I once again, like, my hate is not directed at the developers. My hate is directed at the executives of this company, and the fact that they don't reinvest their money into the frontline developers of this game. Like, I will forever pick on the executives. Like, we as a community, we're not very smart. We always we yell at, the Kralos, the Gurus, the Jakes, the Clints. These guys are like literally fighting tooth and nail day to day to put this game together. But the fact that there's only like 3 of them, and maybe there's obviously more developers, but the fact that our PAC money is giving them like 9 digits, actually many more than that, but it's giving them hundreds of millions of dollars every year, and they're just passing along to their CEO's salary, to their shareholders, doing stock buybacks instead of reinvesting in the product like a company like Amazon. It's kind of depressing as a gamer. And here's the thing: I got into a fight with a game changer on Twitter when he's like, "It's business. They should be doing that stuff and giving it back to shareholders." I'm like, "All right, you're a game changer. You should be fighting for us as players, as people on the field. The shareholders don't need fighting for. Like, you can defend EA and their business practices all you want, but in the end, you need to defend us as consumers, not being a game changer. So, help fight for us. Like, as a community, we need to fight for more investment into our game. But it's not going to get through the top levels of EA, so what does it really matter, right?"
I mean, you hope. That's why we keep playing to those guys like Kralo and Guru, so that way they can actually maybe
pass it up the chain,
get to the right person, that something actually changes. Because if we could yell to the main guys, we probably would get a lot of stuff changed. But probably why these guys are not on Twitter. Probably that's why they're in hiding. So we don't know who they are. Because some of these guys probably either bow under pressure or get fired for responding in their incorrect way.
Bunch of yes men,
basically.
Yeah, like Galvin Belson. Have you watched Silicon Valley?
I've watched the first 3, probably the first 5 episodes into the first season.
Oh, it's a great show. I love that show.
Go account. I need to get back into it.
Damn, yeah, it's a great show. Somehow rip it or something. Anyways, pirate it. But yeah, no, he's just got a bunch of yes men, and he fires all the people that saying, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't do it like that." So it's kind of like that at EA headquarters. Mm-hmm. "Hey, boss man, maybe that's not the greatest idea. All right, I'll see you. Get out of here.
Leave.
Fuck out of my office." Yeah.
Here's your severance package. Goodbye.
Yeah. Security, get this motherfucker.
Take his clearance. Take his key card.
Yeah.
Take his socks while you at it too. Just
sit into the gulags.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, do you have any bickers about the CFM ratings being out? I know a lot of people are super offended by the ratings and how badly their team is represented.
I don't. I couldn't care less. Or is that I could care less, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could care less.
I couldn't care. Wait, I couldn't care less.
No, I thought the proper way was I could care less, but I can't care any less than that, right?
No, I think it's I couldn't care less.
I could not care less.
Yeah,
but I could care less means I could. Yeah, I couldn't care less. I'm not gonna tell a whole argument about that. You're right about it. I couldn't be bothered, but look, I don't play Madden, CFM, maybe or play reg teams. This year we'll probably get more into it. Uh-huh. But just looking at it face value, that the stuff's always changing. Your team's better, they'll be better. So who cares? Your team goes after a 4-0 start, the ratings will get increased. So why do weekly updates? People just want to be mad to be mad. I will say this: the Browns shouldn't be better than the damn Ravens, though. The Browns lost 16 goddamn games last season that were higher rating than the Ravens.
But everybody thinks the Browns are on the upswing.
I don't care. Your team loses 16 straight games to be a 42 overall.
It shouldn't be great. I mean, what? I guess they gave Myles Garrett an 88 overall.
They legitimately added probably a 92 overall or whatever. They like, I guess because Josh Gordon's probably like a 90. Then
No, he's 82.
80. Josh Gordon, 82. What's Jarvis?
87.
So how are they? Okay. What I'm saying is they should not be higher than the Ravens because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, they got Carlos Hyde, Michael Kendricks on the squad now. They gave Baker Mayfield an 81.
Yeah, they shouldn't be higher than the Ravens. I know the Ravens are old and they don't really have like the greatest players, but come on, man, at least be consistent. The Browns added players people didn't want.
Did you say the Raiders or Ravens?
Oh, sorry, the Ravens.
Ravens. Okay,
Yeah,
Ravens. Look at the Ravens.
The Browns added players people no longer wanted their team, yet they're high overall in a team that actually brought back the core unit.
But like, who's good on the Ravens? Like they got Yonda, Jimmy Smith, Brandon Williams. Suggs is over the hill.
Suggs probably still has a high rating now.
He's got an 86.
Their defense was really good last year. Ravens defense really good. I'm pretty sure Ravens defense was one of the best in the league last year.
That's true. They did have Weddle. They still got him.
Yeah, so like I just don't see how a team that basically added like 5 players and then 3 of the players they added, the teams didn't want them anymore, are higher overall the team than the Ravens. That's my one gripe.
Well, here's the thing: you can have talented players.
Games.
You can have talented players, but they just don't play well together as a team.
I got you. You can also not bring in new people that have a higher rating than you did last year. Like, well, you can, but like in Madden, for example, Browns won one game last year, and this year they last year, well, 2 years ago won one game, and last year won 0. They should not be better for bringing in basically 6 players. I think they're just higher overall because it's players you heard of. That's what it comes down to. Just because players you know. You know Baker, you know Jarvis, you know obviously Josh Gordon if he doesn't get in trouble, and then you know Myles Garrett, and then you know Michael Kendrick because he just won a Super Bowl ring. But you think about it, if Kendrick was actually good, wouldn't the Eagles have kept him?
If who? Oh, well, don't they have salary cap issues?
I know, but like you can, they may have to let him go because of that reason alone. But like they'd have more information about that guy than anybody else does. So if the team thought he was a valuable piece to them, they would have kept him, rather than just letting him go for nothing.
Very true.
So always keep that in mind. If teams usually let guys go, they pretty much know that guy may not have nothing else left in the tank.
That's not a bad point. Yeah, I mean, again, I think Kendricks was a solid player, but I can't disagree with you so much there.
Their front 4 is so good they can make any linebacker good.
A valid point.
The Browns don't have that. The Browns may eventually have that. We may see. But, like, I don't think he's going to be the guy. Because Jamie Collins is also the guy that's, a name there, but he also has not been as great as he was with the Patriots. Because the front 4 in Cleveland is not as good as the front 4 was in
yeah, weird they didn't draft Chubb then, huh?
Huh?
Weird they didn't draft Chubb to make that front 4.
They wanted a 5'11" quarterback that runs from the cops. And they got him. I watched that video for the first time, bro. I don't know how he didn't get concussion. He hit his face so hard on the side of that.
Oh, yeah, that Mayfield one, yeah.
He hit his face so hard. I know Brown fans about to be mad. Like, my hot take about Joe Thomas being a career loser. They're about to be on my ass about them having a high overall. They deserve it! Team sucks.
To be fair, yeah, he wasn't all-time great, but I do knock his decision to stay with the Browns. I mean, as much as it's like, the whatever, be loyal to your team. I mean, your team isn't loyal to winning, so.
Yeah, you're being loyal to a girlfriend that's always cheating on you and breaking your heart in the worst possible ways. Yeah, he could have won one game last season if Corey Coleman wasn't a bust and caught a pass. But he dropped it, and you went 0-16. You won one game in the past 2 seasons, and the person that has the win, Johnny Manziel. Mm-hmm. And RG3, a combination of the two.
I don't get it. I mean, I understand Joe Thomas wanted to be an old school guy, but fucking A. I mean,
stupid guy. Like, he could have been out here with the Patriots winning. He could have been out here with the
is that
the left tackle?
Is that how sports have changed? Like, did the NBA change that? We want to see great players play with great players?
I don't want to see players who are great just being wasted away. Like, NBA, because one guy can change the whole thing, obviously. And, there's certain limits. You don't want to see, a great player go play with the team that he couldn't beat.
Mm-hmm.
With Joe Thomas, like, he was a great player, but surrounded by a bunch of bums and incompetence and bad organization stuff that, like, you just not, we can't really see you in the playoff time against big time matchups because you decided to be with this organization. A little different football. You can control the outcome more so if you take control of your own free agency as opposed to just staying with the organization just because you feel the loyalty to something that doesn't make any sense. Like, go get paid and also go win and have more fun. Because losing and being injured sucks, and that's why you retired. If Joe Thomas probably would have been playing for a team that was always in the playoffs, he probably would have came back and played. But being on the Browns and not having a stable organization or a stable GM or a stable owner, like, I don't want to play football anymore because it's not fun.
Yeah, you just get morally demoralized. I think that's what sports is about is watching peak human performance and watching the peak human left tackle of our generation on a winner, to watch him dominate along with maybe a Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers or like some other top end quarterback or team offensive line. Like, put him on the Steelers with their offensive line with like DeCastro and so on, and like Pouncey and stuff. Like, just to watch it, like, absolutely, like, just a unit of these, like, it's kind of why we look back at the old offensive lines like the Cowboys of the 90s, Redskins, and we like, oh my god, those guys were just amazing together. Like, that's kind of what we want to see. We want to see, like, the great moments, the great units, the tippity top of human performance, like I said. But anyways, so yeah, I agree. So the same thing. Okay, go on. Yeah.
Before we go, is that he's a Hall of Famer, but he may not go in first ballot. Because, like, he wasn't doing any winning, and a lot of these people are jerks, and they factor that into as well. And he should have been out here playing for a better team, so he'll get in. But I don't know if he's gonna be in the first ballot just based off of his decision making, not choosing to go play for a team that would have actually helped his legacy more.
I think his reputation and him being a left tackle carries him to the Hall of Fame pretty easily in the first ballot.
Well, I possibly, but maybe not first ballot because people are really worried about that whole first ballot thing. And then also, what did Kevin Durant say is really easy to be the best player surrounded by bums. How good is Joe Thomas really? The Browns were so incompetent. We don't know how good Joe Thomas actually was.
Well, for him to actually look good in the middle of that incompetence, it's got to say something.
I know, but like maybe they like this reputation preceded him. Maybe he wasn't as good as everybody says he was, and he was only getting the worst pass rusher, and all the good pass rusher go over to the other side. You know?
I don't know, man. I mean, he showed it in college, and then like the Browns didn't exactly play like cream puffs with the Ravens' good defense, Steelers' good defense. So it's
but
not
if
like
Suggs. I'm like, hey, Ricky, you go over there. I got this. I got this right time. I got this right. I'm gonna eat this boy up. That's what I would do.
But I mean, that in itself, then if he could just hold his guy 1-on-1, then he could double Suggs on the other side, and be solved. So
I so incompetent they probably couldn't. They can't do that. I saw a center. They had a right tackle playing center, and the center was so terrible. He almost got like one of the quarterbacks killed.
Yeah. Well, a couple years ago, the Browns' offensive line, they've turned out some pretty good offensive linemen,
haven't they? They have. A lot of the guys just leave. I think Mitchell Schwartz was there. They have the Clint Bowling. Was it Clint Bowling?
Alex Mack, too.
Alex Mack, yeah. They draft really good. His players just suck there because they don't, like, see, Alex Mack knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He's like, F this. Tim will get paid by the Falcons, and I'm going to be the best person on this offense.
I'm going to go try to win a Super Bowl, go 28-3 in a Super Bowl. Yeah,
and he broke his leg playing in the Super Bowl and kept playing. That's why the Falcons lost. Because they couldn't run the ball anymore. He broke his leg and kept playing. Because he's a stupid idiot. I don't get it. Like, your team's hurting because you can't run the ball at the middle of the field, and you don't want to leave the game.
Yeah. Well, tough guys.
Stupid guys.
That old school toughness, yeah. That's all right. So this whole thing in the end, with the Warriors and stuff, I'm just going to say my piece on it. I love it. I love seeing super teams. I love seeing the peak performance. I love seeing what dominance can be when you get a team together like that. I don't care. Everybody hates the Warriors now. I'm firmly on board with them.
I mean, well, Boogie Cousins may not be like Boogie Cousins. He's not going to play till February more than likely. So it's just a flyer on a guy that may or may not pan out. But the Achilles tear in the NBA, not too many guys come back from that actually at peak at what they were before.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
So like it's in NFL. I don't know how Terrell Suggs came back. Terrell Suggs came back and actually kind of balled still. But like in the NBA, like DeMarcus Cousins probably one of the biggest guys to come back from that Achilles tear, and he's probably not going to ever be himself again. Being at 6'11", 275.
Yeah, and nobody take my opinion on the NBA as anything close to the fact or reasonable because I don't really watch it a ton. I only watch it briefly. So moving on. So pre-orders for 19. We get like some elite starters, some legends, some training points. You did a video on how to get Madden cheaper. Tell us how, Tex.
All right, so if you're on PS4 and you have Madden 18 still installed, you're a moron. But go ahead and before you uninstall it, go on and log into Madden, and then on the main screen, it gives you a button to press, or just says click here for 10% off. You click that button, it takes you to another screen. And you can get your Madden for 10% off. So on PS4, that'll be $71.99. So you basically save like $8. And then on Xbox, it's going to be the same price. But if you couple that with EA Access, which is only on Xbox because PS4 didn't want it. I know everybody's saying EA's trash, but EA offered EA Access to PS4 as well. PlayStation's really weird about what they want, what services they want you to have. PlayStation declines. That's why it's only on Xbox. Otherwise, you guys can play Madden 3 days early as well. 5 days early because of EA Access stuff. But on Xbox, you can get Madden for $63.99 if you have EA Access. So you can get Madden Goated or Hall of Fame Edition, which gets you what again, Fox?
An elite card and a Legends, right?
Is it, I think it's the Hall of Fame legend, like the Terrell Owens.
Yeah, Terrell Owens, Rod Woodson, Marino, I think, is it?
Marino, and there's some other guys.
Yeah, a couple other, but I think the one to get is Owens because he's a receiver. Yeah.
Yeah, Owens probably gonna have pretty good stats as well since he's on the cover, except for the fact he probably get like a day one legend, which didn't makes that card obsolete if you go ahead and buy that one day one. You also get like 12 gold fantasy packs, which is what we had last year, where you could pretty much choose offense or defense, and you're guaranteed a gold card.
What kind of
may or may not be elite.
Yeah, what kind of sucks, you also get some packs, but what kind of sucks is we don't know if we'd be able to like upgrade these things like golds. Like they haven't come out and said like if we can upgrade this Owens from like an 85 to an 88 to a 90 or anything.
Yeah, we haven't really got any information about that. My guess is they're still kind of game planning, which gets us to our next point after this one about EA and how do they feel about, the MUT team, how they feel about Madden dropping earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
In years past.
Go ahead and get to it.
But no, real quick though. So we gotta finish our pre-order question though.
What?
Which one's better to get?
Which one is it, Tex?
Which one do you think? Because I think if you have on the Xbox and the EA Access, is going to get the Hall of Fame edition because you get better value for cheaper price. And even if you were to spend the $5 for EA Access, you'll still save more money.
Yeah, I mean EA Access for me is an easy winner because you get to play the game for 10 hours, 5 days early for $5. I mean, you don't even have to buy the game. You could just download it for $5.
Download a game and just.
If you don't like it, like play 10 hours those first few days. That's exactly what I've done with the last few EA titles, like Battlefront. I played it for 10 hours and like I don't think I'll enjoy this long term, so I didn't buy it, and it was a great decision. I didn't waste $60 on a game that I really wouldn't have picked up after that. So
you're smart about that because I think I still have my 10-hour pass for EA Battlefield 1.
Yeah, you might be able to like
still play it because I don't think I've actually exhausted my 10 hours on it, which is good to kind of buy the game.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love that. I love that portion of EA Access. So yeah, that's why I think Xbox One is definitely a superior console if you're an EA gamer.
It may be, but like last year I couldn't play on Xbox because of the whole content update thing.
What do you mean?
Every week you can have me because they do those weekly updates.
Oh
and shit,
yeah.
I couldn't download the live content unless I uninstalled Madden and reinstalled it on Xbox.
That sucks.
So stupid. All right, but yeah, back to my point we mentioned earlier about EA and the MUT team being kind of maybe not as excited about this. Is all speculation. I don't know anything firsthand. But when Gunner Fox mentioned we haven't got any information about what the Hall of Fame legends are going to be able to be done with, if you can upgrade them, if they're going to be able to be powered up with chemistries of our choosing or abilities of that we can choose as well. We haven't got any information about any of that stuff. So I was thinking, like, is the MUT team kind of excited about Madden dropping earlier? Because that means more work for them in a longer season. Because usually Madden drops the 22nd. But now they got a whole 20 extra days, maybe like 25 extra days they got to actually plan out content for. What do you think, Fox?
Well, I don't know if they necessarily cared. I think they're fine giving up on 18 earlier than normal and moving on. As we saw this summer, they didn't really give us a ton of content like we want. Like we complained weekly about how little there is to do in MUT compared to 17's end of year. So, I mean, they gave up earlier. So, I mean, their schedule just moved up a month or 3 weeks or so. And as a community, we're like, where the hell's our content? Where the hell's our content? We didn't understand that at the time back in May, June, that like they just all moved on to the next game because the next game was earlier this year. So I can see them for the MUT staff. Maybe it doesn't matter that much, but like for the example of those that pre-order, not being able to know if we can upgrade these guys to like a higher overall, like the GOAT players. I mean, you just can't pre-order the game at this point. Like, don't do it. Don't pre-order it until August. Like August 1st, take a look, see if they've told us everything, because we're supposed to get more MUT. More MUT information coming here near the end of July, because they're going to put out MUT ratings July 23rd, I think it is. So definitely wait on the pre-order. I always wait. Maybe you'll get MUT rewards. I got MUT rewards last year. Did you get MUT rewards last year, Tex?
MUT rewards. Yeah, I got a code.
Yeah.
Via, if you log in. Well, if you guys aren't signed up for MUT rewards, go ahead and check. Just go to the MUTrewards.com and then just sign up and link your account.
Yeah, you can see how many packs you open. So it should be pretty easy to open 1,000 packs this year with those get a player packs for 500 coins.
Really easy.
Yeah. So MUT rewards is easier than ever to get. I wonder if they'll add a new tier for next year. But
they need to, because
yeah,
I don't know why they big 1,000. It's just like, well, okay, we're good. Again, doing minimum work for something that needs more depth to it.
Yeah, and I mean like. So we want to play the game right away because the game's most fun those first few weeks because packs are actually worth it. At the beginning of every single game, you can rip packs just about infinitely if you can sell them back, if you can sell your items back quickly enough. But you can essentially rip packs, sell items, rip packs, sell items. It's something that I know some of my friends do. I know Ryan probably does it quite a bit. I think he rips a lot of packs at the beginning of MUT. I remember last year there's some stuff about that 500 coin get a player pack where you literally couldn't lose coins off it because how in demand silvers and golds were. But anyways, what was I on? Pre-order it, yes, no, and then if the MUT team actually likes that Madden came out early, I don't know. The thing is, like, they put out their blog first, and we criticized the blog for the lack of like wow factor, innovations. What I talked about when I think Rayweather was on the podcast is that we always focus on, and the feedback that they get is like, what's wrong with the game? And my point is, what's wrong with the game matters, but not nearly as much as what can we make fun in this game? What can we do that's fun, innovative, that can bring our audience back? Because the shitty things in the game can just be ignored by the community, and a good portion of the community does ignore them. So, we hear this echo chamber on Twitter about what sucks, and we always focus on what sucks in the game, power-ups. But in the end, I just stopped doing power-ups. Like, I don't give a shit that they're in the game. Sure, you're wasting your time, and in the end, you're wasting dev time, and that kind of hurts us in general because of power-ups. But I didn't engage with them, so who cares? So I just tell people not to waste your coins. I tried to be a consumer advocate for people to tell them about power-ups and their issues. But what we need to focus on here, and you as a developer need to focus on more than what sucks, is what we can do to make this game fun. You want people passionate about your game. Clearly, you and I are passionate about this game. That's why we talk about what sucks and what we like and what we want to see. I've put out videos on stuff I'd want to see. I've put out this huge suggestion video earlier in the year when they're looking at things to put in for the next year. I put out these videos in like November, December-ish because that's when I know they're planning for the next year. And it doesn't look like anything that I suggested for the next year for what they could put in Madden got added. I'll have to go back and actually look at my list. But that's what I want to see. And sure, you could say solos for MUT squads is innovative, but like they didn't mention anything about MUT squad play a friend. That was a community want. Not necessarily innovative, just kind of more of a quality of life thing. So it seems like they're doing a lot of quality of life things, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I expect something grand out of my major expansion for the year of this game. Texas, What do you think about that?
Especially if you're spending $6 on an entirely new game. Because that brings up a point that I mentioned I want to talk about, is that more and more I think about Madden 19, the more and more it looks like it's going to be Madden 18 and a half.
Yeah.
And that's mostly speaking about MUT. The CFM stuff, I don't really care about too much, even though it is, I don't care about that. Like, the new stuff they added doesn't seem like that's going to add better results to those that want stuff that people wanted. But like with Madden Ultimate Team, so like the solo for the solo gauntlet, or solo squads, why couldn't that be added this year? Why wasn't the solo squads available this year? Why did they have to wait an entire year to add that to the game? Because it doesn't seem like an addition that people were really clamoring for. Plus, being able to replay the solo for minimum coin award doesn't seem like a good use of one's time. Unless, obviously, you got to play solo, play squads in order to get MUTMen done again, and this is going to be the best way to do it without actually having to go online and play against savages who are out here trying to win tokens for, crazy John Madden head coach rewards. So that's something like this is not really an addition. This is more so something they added just because they could. But that's something that people were asking about. With the power-ups again, like, why did they have to build a new currency to make power-ups better? Why wasn't there like a set that you can add this guy and you can change his chemistry? Why wasn't there a set where instead of for MasterCards you can use tokens? Why did they have to be a new currency invented in order for me to be able to power up a master item or change his chemistry? Like, why? There's stuff they could have added in this year's game that they seem to just not wanted to, but wanted to focus on making it in Madden 19 as opposed to doing it in this year's game and having it as a new selling feature. Because all the stuff that we're mentioning could have been added in this past year's game.
Yeah, and we don't know, like we said, they have few developers, but you're right. I mean, it's our big game. Invest in it. Like, so our $60, invest in it. And 18.5, sure. We actually, that's why I asked Jake. Well, you asked him. It was one of the questions at EA Play if they have more tricks up their sleeve, and he said yes. Like, do you think with the marketing of this game, and it's a yearly title, so you really want to blow out all your changes? Do you think there's still things they're like significant things they're hiding from us?
See, I would say no. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see squad competitive. Like, we can play with like versus and stuff. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that in this upcoming Madden. So my guess is they're gonna announce it later on down the line where you can just play a specific opponent. But I'd be hard pressed to think like what else can they do, because it seems like a lot of stuff they're adding or a lot of stuff they're kind of bragging about. Like, why would that not be at the first blog you release? Maybe they're just trying to give us a bunch of like chum in the water before they actually give us like the actual good stuff, trying to see how people are gonna be receptive to it. But so solo, boss battles are basically what solo battles are gonna be next year. It's just gonna be more of a weekly thing, and it seems like they're just giving us stuff that we can like. It's just gonna be rinse and repeat content for the next year.
Yeah, and so they Jake said he automated it, so hopefully we'll get more solos. But sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. And so if basically we're just gonna get more solos to play, that's not what people want. Those obviously, but they don't want the way they're going about doing it. I'm not gonna complain about like having content to play and stream and stuff, but like the way they're going about it seems kind of the same way what we got this past year, which is gonna be on a weekly content release, which is what like people kind of get tired of being on that hamster wheel where they got to do the same thing every single week over and over again for decent rewards, one would say.
Yeah.
And like, okay, so we got boss battles this past year. Give us something else next year that's different than boss battles. But I guess soul battles is still different enough to where like it's gonna be on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday type things, and the rewards might be great. And it's basically like we're just getting boss battles first week of the Madden season. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be going until Madden ends next year. So I'm just like, there's nothing. So they better have something up their sleeves, because if not, it's just going to be stuff that we complained about Madden 18 just being fixed or being added into Madden 18.5.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people, like OGs, I'd call them, kind of being like, I'm really not excited for this next year's game because of the way they ended 18. Like, that's a complete issue. Like, the way they bored us down the stretch, the way that we're looking at the new game, and it's like, okay, it's more the same of like, how much of building our roster by adding these MUT cards to our team can we take before we get bored of it and look for something different? Tex. Like, how much of this yearly over and over again with some minor changes can we do?
I don't know, because I know some big MUT guys are like, I can never, after playing other games like my buddy E-Rock, he plays that Marvel superhero game. And he says, I think it's a card game. He said he can never, ever play a game that just makes you restart every single season. Because I guess, like, in those games, it doesn't actually, like, the season doesn't actually restart.
Yeah.
You just get better cards, I guess.
Okay.
And so, like, whereas Madden, you just completely
go fresh.
Play, spend a bunch of money, and then next year start all over.
But why do we say that the best time of the year is at the start and building your team?
Well, I like that whole aspect too, but a lot of people don't. Like, if I wasn't a YouTuber, I probably wouldn't be able to do this because, like, it gets expensive.
It really does.
Asking your mom for $300 or $200 to be mad every single season just so you can actually pull packs and build your team. You can't get, like, what are you doing with yourself? Like, or spending that 8-hour, that 40-hour work week check on Madden stuff every single year. Just like, I can be saving this money for vacation. I can be taking my girl to Barbados or going on a cruise with the money I'm spending on Madden every single year and getting something more out of life than a video game. So, like, it just, after, like, when you start getting older and older, more responsibility starts setting, you start realizing that this is kind of stupid. So I think for young people, they're gonna keep doing it, but as the older they get, they're gonna be like, I don't like having to spend all this money just so I gotta do it again next year.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of guys who've been in the game for a few years go to no more of like the no money spent because at the end of the day, like, I still enjoy building the roster, I still enjoy Madden, whatever, but I think if I really wanted to go no money spent, I don't think it's that difficult. Like, I've seen people, and we know people on YouTube do this too. They go no money spent and are able to amass a ton of coins, but like my content and putting out new card reviews and new gameplays doesn't really lend itself to that, so I have to supplement it with cash. But like in the end, like they've turned this game into you can grind it, you can grind the auction house, you can grind a little bit souls and have a very competitive team. Maybe you won't be able to get the newest card every weekend, but that's just throwing coins down the drain. Like Wheels and K, like they just get the new cards every weekend, and I do too. And it's like you're just flushing coins down the toilet, but that's kind of our content and showing it off and reviewing the new cards. But I can totally, like, you'll see a lot of older guys. Like, do you think it's completely reasonable, like, after playing the game for a few years, you understand how it works, to go no money spent because it's a lot easier to predict at that point?
Yeah, it is also better because, like, the money spenders don't really get anything great. Because it seems like even if you spend $10,000 on this game, I can still spend nothing and I'll probably have a decent team.
Yeah.
Just based off of random chance. Like, you could spend, like, the horror stories I see in people's comment sections. If I spend $500 on Michael Vick weekend and the best pull I got was 92 Vick.
It's insane.
It's just like, oh, damn, bro, I'm sorry. And then you got a guy who plays a solo challenge and gets 99 Vick out of it.
Yeah.
Like, it just so happens that his one pack that they gave him the 95 Vic, and that was going for the most. He did the set, and he has him now. So the money, it's just more rewards geared towards the guys that aren't actually spending any money. Because since the toppers have not really guaranteed anything recently, like, when's the last time a topper guaranteed like a 99 overall player? Even the toppers still out here guarantee you a 93 plus overall Ultimate Legend.
Well, they've done it for a bunch of solos and sets. They've guaranteed, elite badges for a golden ticket or solo badges for ultimate. But you're talking packs specifically?
Talking packs, like if you go on a store right now, look at my PS4 is off because that shit hums. But if your Xbox is on, you go into the store. Does does that stupid $20 pack for 5 cards, that bundle, that give you an Ultimate Legend 99 overall? Or does it give you a 93 plus?
Yeah, it's insulting.
Dog, it's July.
It's
like, what? And so, like, it's just much better if you're just gonna grind solos, even though it is a waste of time, because you get better value if you don't grind solos and use that money on, like, the black market. If you're gonna want to maximize your time and money without having to give it to EA, without having to play solo challenges, but it's a shame that, like, the guys who are spending money are kind of the ones getting short end of the stick because they're not really getting rewarded unless they get a huge pool that they can sell for millions of coins.
Yeah, and it's something that I've argued for plenty of times. There's more guaranteed value in packs, and the toppers are the way to do it, or like baby goats were last year. But hey, I just want to make a comment. You said that shit hums. I think that's a really good expression for, like, a good song. Like, if you hear a good song, the first time, like, oh shit, that shit hums. Like, I think that's a good a new saying. Like, that shit bumps. That shit hums. I like it.
Okay, it's like when Kid Cudi's out here, so that shit hums. Okay.
Yeah, that's Texas trademarked that shit.
That song got me bumping like a bug bite.
Is that a lyric?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That shit hums. Anyways, so, like, I'm like, you're right. When I'm staring down the barrel of 19, and last year in 18, I started the game by spending $1,000 on packs for like a video. I got some decent hits on it, nothing outrageous that I didn't get on any of the videos, but I think it sets off the channel right. It allows me to get top end players for reviews and gameplays, and so I'm doing it for YouTube, but for, like, if I'm staring at that as a regular player, I can totally see like staring down $1,000 and or a big money spending thing that's coming at me, and I could see why E-Rock would say, I don't like giving up my team every year and starting over. Like, but it's just what Madden does.
Yeah, and it's something they're gonna keep doing until gambling becomes legal.
Yeah.
in video games, and so we just gotta have to deal with it for a while and just be smart with yours, man. Like, I know pulling packs is exciting, but like, it's roulette. The shit resets every single time you pull a pack. Like, you think eventually you'll get something good, but that's not how that works. There'll be some days you'll spend the entire weekend pulling literally nothing, then all of a sudden the next week you get 3 limited times, and it's just how your luck having to work that week. So
yeah. I had better luck pulling cards from my like gold tier 2 and silver tier 1 weekend league reward packs this year than any pack I bought.
Yeah, and that's why they changed it. They changed those packs so that
they did
because they got mad at everybody. Like, I've spent all this time playing 23 games, and this dude got 94 Jimmy Graham for just playing 11.
I know they kind of. So. Yep, they took that. There was no reason for them to change them to quote unquote Hail Mary packs and whatever packs they did. No reason
besides just try to appease the people at the top who are winning the majority of their games and get better luck. Which, instead of just giving them better packs or giving them the packs that we were pulling, they decided to give us less value, which is whatever they decided to do.
What is it? The crab theory? What's that?
What was your best like week of pulling, or like your best day of pulling packs? You know, like one that you can recall off the top of your head.
There isn't one day. It's just I pulled a couple limited out of weekend league rewards, and I'd say whatever day I'd guarantee so like one of those Thursday? Probably. Yeah.
Okay, Thursday or whatever. Because like the best day I had was I pulled 290 for Demaryius Thomas and a 89 overall kicker. It was like 1 million coins.
Jesus.
I spent 1 million coins on packs. And I got 1 million coins back in 3 pulls.
Wow. That's not bad.
That was my best day of this crazy luck. And then the next week I spent 1 million coins and got nothing. So that's how that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say my best day would be one of the weekend league reward packs for sure. But yeah, nothing crazy like that. My pack luck, I'm not a pack god. For as much money and as much packs as I've opened, they've just been very average. So, anyways, hey, you wanted to talk about rookie premieres for a little bit. Do you like that they only did like a few rookie premieres? I mean, years past we did the whole first round. What's the deal with that? They getting lazy, Tex?
It's less cards that have chance to hit, the better. Because they don't want you investing in players, especially because they know that a lot of us have coins that we gotten illegally or quote-unquote illegally from the black market. And so they don't want us out here having the entire first round. You know, it's a good way to get rid of a lot of coins in the market just because people are going to be investing in players like this. I wouldn't say they gotten lazy. They just don't want, because like they don't want certain cards to hit, because then that basically makes more work for them. And then they can't really build programs around certain cards. So my guess, they probably got a lot of programs laid out. Like Baker Mayfield's probably going to get he's probably going to be starting in a preseason. So my guess is Baker Mayfield's probably going to get a preseason hero card just because. So they weren't going to do Baker Mayfield since he's going to get a better card come immediately when the season starts.
Yeah, because we'll get like whole weeks of preseason stuff.
Yeah.
But it's crazy the whole MUT calendar moved up this year.
And the players that we probably won't see are the players that are going to be in this round because like a lot of the guys are pretty much starters, except for I think everybody we got is a starter except for Sam Darnold.
Yeah. He'll be like the number 2.
Yeah. So the starters we're not going to see much of other than one series. So you're going to see a lot of the backups shining and a lot of the lower round players. And so that's more than likely why we're not going to be able to see. We can't really get a lot of these top tier cards because for one, they got programs built around certain players, and then also on top of that, they don't want to do all that work of keeping track of 32 players they can't touch for 7 months. That's a lot of players. Like, imagine 32 cards you can't use for 7 months and then after that go ham. That's pretty much where it comes down to. They don't want to do that. They don't want to lock themselves into something where they got to give a guy a 93 overall.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I guess you're right. So it is laziness after all. Essentially what you're saying.
I want to say it's laziness is more so that they just, because they want to give them an upgrade. They just want to give them an upgrade when we want the upgrade. That's why we start seeing a 9 Fournette like a month after the thing.
I kind of went with the draft promo, though. He was a rookie.
He did not need a 9 overall that was going for 3 million coins, basically. He did not need that. He deserved it, but like he deserved that. Like he went 4 weeks in a row having like 100 yards a game and didn't get an upgrade.
Yeah.
to the playoffs. Like, they were not trying to upgrade him, man. Like, they were like, nope, 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 nope. And then they finally gave him one for playoffs, and it was a 91 overall.
Yeah, I remember he was okay. He was still a low end running back at that point.
Yeah, he wasn't like, it's just so they rather.
I think at that point we had Barry Sanders already, so it was like, what the hell's the point of this?
But he'd have still been a nice bruising back because we don't have many fast bruising backs in the game.
No, you're right. At that time he was a fast bruiser. You're right.
So it just comes down to just like timing and stuff. They just did not want to give him an upgrade because he would have been one of the legit cards in the game. So it comes down to just like, we'll wait, and then bam, you sorry, we'll upgrade your Myles Garrett, we'll upgrade your Marshawn Lattimore. We're not gonna do Leonard Fournette. You did. So it's just
Lattimore got by the skin of his teeth though. Actually, didn't Garrett got upgraded after the deadline too?
Yeah, Garrett's was it his draft card or was it his? It wasn't his draft card.
No, it was before
combine
that.
Card.
Yeah,
it was a combine card, which he didn't deserve. Fucking Brown. That's why you're gonna see Derwin James. Not Derwin James. You're gonna see what's the other guy's name?
Ward.
Denzel Ward get a high card this year.
Oh yeah.
Guys ain't got Denzel Ward. He should be your first pick.
That's why he was number 2 on my rookie premier ranking.
Yeah, because he's the Brown.
Behind Barkley.
So stupid.
Barkley with the hype, Ward because of the Browns. I got a lot of people angry at me for my Darnold picking him last to get upgraded because I trashed his playing time, and 2, I trashed the Jets. A lot of angry New Yorkers. Who would have thought New Yorkers were angry?
Are so weird. Their teams are terrible, yet they think they're good, and they always start at like 3-1. We're going to the playoffs, and they fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like, your team's not good, Jet fans. Like, I understand you may think your quarterback is good. You got 3 quarterbacks. You know what that's saying? If you got 3 quarterbacks, you got none.
Boom.
There you go.
Throwing down the gauntlet. Yeah, I agree. Like they're super high on the Jets wide receivers, and I was like, yeah, but who's gonna block for them? And
who's gonna
whatever.
Run the ball?
Yeah.
The defense is pretty interesting, but like they let a lot of the good players go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, their teams, I don't know how that guy got his. Like, I don't know how he's still employed, but like he's getting by the skin of his teeth as well. The coach, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. All right, so let's the questions you asked right before the podcast. Three things. We'll each talk about 3 things we liked in Madden 18 that we want to return, and 3 things we didn't like. All right, so I don't know.
Power ups.
We can't do power ups. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we'll do 3 things I didn't like first. Then, the GOAT promo.
Because you don't like the GOAT promo with the packs.
They stopped it. I mean, I love the packs though.
Gotcha.
But like, if they do the GOAT promo, but like execute it better, like keep upgrading them, I would have loved them to continue the GOAT promo through January. Keep giving us baby GOAT packs, but they stopped it, and I think that's why I hate
those
it.
cards cheaper and the packs cheaper because like it got to the point where it was like $500K to upgrade to GOAT.
Dude, I don't even care. I mean, that shit was so guaranteed value.
It was good value, but like I might spend $500K on an 87 overall cornerback, and you must be crazy. I think it was a 90 overall, but that still wasn't worth it at that time.
Yeah. So that was one thing. I didn't like that they stopped the GOAT promo. I didn't like how all the promos were kind of cookie cutter after a while. Mm-hmm. Not as much innovation that I've rallied against. And then what else didn't I like? I guess can I say gameplay glitches? Is that legit? Rack fades?
No, you can talk about that. That's cool. That works because that came out of nowhere. Yeah, the rack fade, swerve.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, internet. Okay, what were 3 things you didn't like?
I didn't like the chemistries. They were very, very stupid. They did not really. They wanted to make the game built. Like, they didn't want you having to be using certain players, obviously. So that's why we got 7 chemistry this year. We got no team chemistries for Madden 17 that we had that were really cool. We didn't get any really good promo chemistries. I missed. Like, promo chemistries were annoying because they took away an extra.
Yeah, we hated promo chemistries.
We hated promo chemistries until the Super Bowl. After that, it got good because they were terrible at first.
Yeah, and the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is the one that made EA give up on promo chemistries in 17.
The Super Bowl chemistry was good because it was actually good players. I think what happened was like they kept forcing you to use these certain chemistries on cards without giving you an option to take them off, and then on top of not giving you an option to take them off, they didn't give you anything useful. It was stuff that other than speed, obviously, but it wasn't really like stuff that was worth using terrible players for. And then when the Super Bowl came out, the Bob Sanders. Like a lot of the top, Devon Miller, a lot of the top tier cards had a really good use of those chemistries, like the Mike Wallace that ended up getting milestone, obviously. So promo chems were cool when they were appropriate for the what was going on with the players around that time. So I did like them at the end, not towards the beginning, like around Halloween and stuff like that. That wasn't great. But yeah, this year only having 7 chemistries and then only really again having three of them being useful on offense and defense combined is stupid. And one of them only being useful like 5 months ago? No, probably 4 months ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I didn't like the chemistries. I wasn't really a fan of like the pack value for like good money spenders. I felt like a lot of the packs in the stores were just super overpriced for the amount of cards you get, spending $15-$20 on 5 cards or 7 cards.
Definitely a weakness because they gotta understand there's a black market out there and they need to compete against it.
Yeah, and so like it's just you gotta bring a lot. Like, we're guarantee you an Ultimate Legend that sells for $30K. I'm spending $20 on this pack. Like, I'm gonna go take this money elsewhere if you don't keep giving me all this super duper awful luck that's in this pack right now. And then also, what else did I like about Madden last year? The journey. The journey was the biggest waste of time I've ever did playing a video game. That journey was so hard, so long, for nothing.
Yeah, I think that was probably, like, for as much as we love the journey, they kind of skated by on its reputation this year, and we wanted the old journey back. We wanted pack and coin rewards in our solos, and the fact that they moved to NAT cards, a lot of people, I've asked this question on my stream before, I'm like, would you guys rather have, like, they did, I forget, what was the thing, not the loyalty, but the other solo challenges, the solo challenge for the free 99 Ultimate Legend, I think it was. Would you guys rather have a solo thing like that, where you get a free NAT Ultimate Legend, or would you rather have 200,000 coins? And everybody said the free Ultimate Legend. And I was like, really? You'd rather want the NAT card? So EA's kind of got us hooked on NAT cards because they're flashy and they're nice. What do you think about that, Tex?
Makes sense, though, because 200K, all that's going to do is either entice you to pull packs, which may get you mad, or it'll entice you to go buy something that may be more expensive at that point, because when coins come to the market, that's when everything goes up in prices. Like, it's kind of funny to see how that works. Like, you think when coins come to the market, it will crash. No.
What?
A lot of stuff goes up.
Yeah, because it's inflation.
I understand that, bro. You would think that if everybody gets a stimulus package, then, like, things would be cheaper.
The fuck? That's exactly opposite of how you expect
it to
be,
bro.
and how it actually is.
Crazy. Economics is crazy. But you, like, it
What?
just seems kind of...
What? As more money goes into the system, everything's going to cost more money.
I would think people will try to unload the stuff they have so that way they can get it for which would cause a crash in the end. So if people have coins, they would try to sell before the market gets like flooded with the stuff people want. You know?
That's
what I was thinking.
Occam's razor, man. Keep it simple.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Stupid. See, don't assume anything. Just
simplest solution is generally right.
Yeah, you're right. So I think people would rather have a player because, for one, they know what the player is going to be, which they can probably build their team around and get rid of the player they already don't want, and they don't got to be bothered to go out and find a player that fits their play style. They already have one there.
Yeah, I still think it's fucking stupid.
No, it is. I'd rather have it with coins.
If you want cards assigned to you, play Draft Champions. Like that's the mode for them giving you a card to put on your team.
But think about this: people aren't good at building teams. That's why they always ask us to help build their team. They're terrible at it.
Yeah, I don't want EA building a team.
I agree, but people are bad at building teams, Gutfuck. You know how many times I've seen fucking people have Jadeveon Clowney and a 4-3 at outside linebacker?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you blitzing him every play? They're like, no. Why is he here? I don't know. I just have him. Well, like, sell him or put him at right in. Like, you can't be here.
It's a really good point.
Like, people are not really good at building teams, so when they get stuck with cards, they just have them on their roster. And so, if people were a little bit more educated about how 4 techniques and 3 techniques and 5 techniques were to work, they maybe wouldn't the coins would help them out a lot to go buy the player they want to fit that position. But guys don't know that.
So NATs are the babyfication of the MUT community. They're forcing people to use these cards and put them on the squad, because I've seen that excuse like, oh, he's NAT, he has to be there. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. I like it. Fuck them. It's capitalism. If there's a market, you better goddamn make sure you're exploiting it and using it. Like, EA, don't give us this non-marketable bullshit. Don't stick us with some goods. Allow us to fully experience the game of Madden Ultimate Team. You've got a market. Make us fucking use it. Boom.
Exactly. That's how it goes. Mic drop.
Yeah. All right. 3 things we liked about Madden 18. Hey, can I add into the thing that I didn't like the card borders of cards either.
Well, they're back next year, so you're stuck.
I know. Fucking.
They changed it every year for the past like 4 years. They decided to stick with this one.
They're the worst. I don't know. That guy deserves like a I don't know, swift kick to the nuts or something. All right. So 3 things we liked in Madden 18 that I want to return. I liked the limited time pull frequency seemed to be higher than previous years. And I also liked the numbered cards that we got for the draft promo. Now, maybe like, oh, they're too exclusive, they're too expensive, but I like exclusive content. There are people in this game, there is a market of people that just want to swag on other folks. And I think EA should serve that market as much as they do the other markets. So give us those limited time pulls and the frequency, I love that. And then give us a couple more limited time cards that have numbers on them. What do you think of that, Tex?
Oh gosh, I like that too. I like the fact that they can't do it with. I like seeing, because I was like with the Thursday Night Heroes, like I don't know how they would go with limited on those. So those should just be in packs for 24 hours. But like with the draft promo stuff, I did like seeing that the 100 go really quickly, and then seeing like the fight over those 100 because they knew that it was that rare. So 100 people fighting for, like 500,000 people. How many people do you think play this game? 500,000 people seems like kind of high. But
yeah,
like, we'll just say
that many people have probably logged in, but the number of people that are active, probably like a tenth of that.
All right, so we'll just say like 100,000 people playing this game, which I don't know, that's not a tip. But 50,000 people playing this game, fighting over 100 cards. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I do like seeing that. So it just brings me back to Madden 13 days where you actually were pulling in the morning for limited times, like Michael Vick or Cam Newton or Randy Moss, trying to be one of the ones to get one of the first ones.
It's a cutthroat business, baby. I love it. All right, my next one. I love the events type deal that they have now. You know, earlier in the podcast I talked about that rocket launch in Fortnite that I was like, oh my god, what's this doing? And it heralded in the new season. I love the NFL draft, and I know that's, you know, a bigger event. And then like the Blitz weekend. Like, so these things that they have set up for us that like we don't know what's coming. Obviously with the NFL draft, we know what team is going to draft, but we don't know who they're going to draft. And then what cards coming into the game and what their stats are going to be. And then with like the Blitz promo, like, okay, now at 8 p.m. this unlocks, but what is it going to be? What can we buy? And then 10 p.m., 12 p.m., like everything, every few hours, something new came through the whole weekend. Like that weekend was some of the most fun I had playing the game all year because it was exciting to me. It was a major blowout event. So I think ideally, if they can do an event every few months, like I know the NFL draft is what I think it's April next year again. Would it be April, May? I don't know.
More likely April.
Yeah. So have an event. There could be maybe a Super Bowl event going on Super Bowl Sunday, or like maybe the weekend before for like I don't know, that's the Pro Bowl. It's like it's not that big, but anyways, like some big event near the Super Bowl, like some Super Bowl days, and then you could have something. At Christmas time is tough because you want to kind of be by family, but the Christmas promo was kind of fine.
See, you can't be saying that because like at the same time they still drop packs.
Yeah, that's true. But they
can be like, spend time with your family, but also buy our packs.
But they can pre-schedule a lot of that stuff. I'm just talking about because for events they need people in the office.
Well, I was just making fun of the fact that like go spend time with your family instead of ask for promo stuff. I'm like, but y'all still drop packs. Like, go spend time with my family, don't drop packs. I'm a problem. I need to go get this addressed.
I feel you. But so like the NFL Blitz, that promo on the Black Friday, love that. I would like, you know, so they got the Blitz and the NFL Draft, maybe 2 more for the whole year, 2 more whole events. So like, was that one every 3 months? Just like, I don't know, figure it out. So I love those events. What do you think, Tex?
I like events too. I mean, we may see more this year since now they have the full year. They can actually build the program to make sure.
They had the same events in 17. I just want them to expand. Like, so they had them in 17, 18, similar events, but like builds hype for the game. Like, it's the more of it in 19. You know what I mean?
Well, like in Madden, you're right about that. Like, I was thinking about more like the ranked events, but like just events in general. Like they've done that in the past. Like remember on the draft thing was back in Madden 13, but then they also had like
happy hours. Yeah.
Well, they also on top of that had more depth and stuff though. Like with the draft promo, not only did players get released in packs, you also if you invested in like, okay, this guy going number 1 overall, you got 1 million coins.
I know, that was crazy.
So it was stuff like that where it's like, okay, if you're right about who's number 1 overall, you get a lot of coins out of it. So like the predictions that they can do on top of that. So with Super Bowl, like prop bets and stuff. We didn't get that this year, did we?
We got Super Bowl prop bets. We got some sort of predictors.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got predicted for I think who's gonna win the playoffs, but like we didn't get like prop bets in the Super Bowl. Like so, if the
That
team,
was so fun in the years past.
yeah. So like imagine like them somebody at the office watching the Super Bowl with the other employees. It's like, oh snap, there's a safety on the play that results in 20,000 coins, and automatically updating that to 20,000 coins.
Yeah.
They can do stuff like that easily. Just choose not to. They can do it for Monday Night Football games. They can do this all year long. They don't want to. It's too much work.
Yeah, I would more than like mini events. I want like large like game changing events. You know what I mean? Like so like Monday Night Football. That doesn't seem like it's kind of a deal, but it's like weekly. It's not like a huge hype thing. I want huge hype things like the blitz or the draft type of hype more than like the mini events. Yeah.
So you want like major stuff, which would be cool as well. But it's also cool for little stuff for small events as well.
True.
Then I just feel like the more stuff that you do like that, the more people will be not feeling like this game is a copy paste stuff.
Yeah,
like
I get you.
being still. Like if you can just get on Monday night and like okay from 7 to like from 6. Monday starts. I don't know what time games start. We'll just say from 5 to 6. You gotta go ahead and get your predictions in, and then you can watch the game live with the EA guys on Twitch, and then they can just react to the game and talk about MUT stuff. And then if a prop bet hits, they just update the game.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
It's literally content there they can do.
All
Get to know our MUT team. Get to know our developers. We're gonna have Carlos Guerrero and we're gonna have Kralo sit here and watch football with another EA game changer. We're gonna watch Dolphins versus the Steelers, and then and just talk to us in the chat. It could be fun.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a good idea to help.
Yeah.
With Madden stuff. So, anyways, and then the third one, I like the weekend league qualification in the casual games. Like, I think there should be casual game mode. They had it in 17 before they took it out to bring back seasons. But just like a casual unranked site, so you just want to get like a quick game in. And so I like weekend league qualification more than I liked weekend league. All right, what are your favorite 3 things from 18 that they want to return?
All right, so obviously the gauntlet, that was the best thing they've added this year. Yeah, the gauntlet was cool just because like it was like 15 solos every month, which I think they got to bring back maybe on a more frequent basis, waiting an entire month to play some solos. But the rewards were great, especially early on, especially if you got lucky. Like I know some people that got like 90 overall Tom Brady out like week 1 of Madden.
Wow.
And their quarterback, even though it was Nat, was pretty much set because that was one of the best quarterbacks to have at the time. And so, like a lot of people's teams, you don't like the Nat players. They actually kind of like helped them out initially, before they actually can build up coins. So, my buddy Nick, he had Tom Brady, which helped him win a lot of MUT Squads games, which ended up giving a lot more coins, obviously.
Yep.
I
prefer it to be auctionable, but go on.
If it was auctionable, it'd be better, especially if you could power it up and make it auctionable. But nope, that's how that works. So I like the gauntlet, I like the rewards, and I like how if you played the entire year, you got rewarded at the end with a 95 overall. That sold for a decent amount of coins for just keeping up with it. So a lot of coins was made with the gauntlet. Unfortunately, I didn't like how you couldn't like actually go back and get the collectibles later on. But that's a problem that they got to address going forward. That they can't basically cut people out of a program for not having the game since October, because a lot of people get a game on Christmas. Anywho, like the gauntlet. What else did I like? It's tough because a lot of things I do like, but right now I'm not really thinking about it too well. Cause I keep thinking about Madden 17 and stuff that I want back.
It's easier to think about things you don't like.
Yeah, well, easier, yeah. But like, what else did I like this year? I like the gauntlet.
Did you like the MUT Master and the objectives?
No, after that. I'm not bringing up power ups because that program could have been better. What else you got that you like? I gotta think.
Oh, you want me to provide?
Okay, so I did like the level up system.
Yeah, that was good.
I like the level up system. I wish again they did more stuff with it besides just giving you solos to play. Like they could expand on it, obviously, by giving us exclusive sets that we can do. Some exclusive players that we can try out. Like, hey, you're at level 50, like level 30. Here is a free player you can try for 5 games. Now, I don't like, well, there's no more contracts now, so that won't work actually. But they could do something along the lines like that in Madden 19. It would be kind of cool. Try out this player Or how do they do that in Madden 19 without there being any contracts, Fox? You can't. There's no more trial player, which is just kind of tragic.
Yeah, they can't really. I mean, I'm sure they can think of something. Just even though they don't have contracts, they could still say this is a 10-game limited time thing, so they could still do it. They still have the technology.
Gotcha. Give you like an hour in game time. It'd be kind of fun. I don't know how that work, but anyway. And then what else did I like this year? I'm trying to go through the Rolodex right now. Things that we got. I'm trying to go like Halloween, Christmas, Easter. I got 2 things. There's more obviously, but I got 2 things for right now.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else right now outside my head. I'm just trying to like my brain is in summer mode right now.
Yeah. Well, this will be our last content before we go through the questions.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you got?
Okay, I will say the playoff content. The playoff where they gave you a bunch of players that you can use in your team. Again, but at least it was actually pretty useful players if you got some good luck to do some of the sets or just power up like that Deion Jones that never actually got a higher upgrade.
Wait, say that again?
The playoff promo?
Yeah.
They had those solos that give you those free 11 or free 12 players.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, okay. You like that? And then you upgrade it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could power up one of them. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
thought their promos this year were pretty solid. It's just kind of like after a while, it felt they got stale. So I mean, like I've said before, it feels like they found the least objectable way of doing promos, and they just stuck with it.
That's just true. Okay, I take back what I said about playoff. Third best thing: kickers and punters.
What about them?
Being rare, I like that.
Why?
Because for one, they had to put a premium on getting a good kicker, and I'm tired of them dropping a kicker and that was gold in in September that you didn't upgrade the entire year.
Yeah, like
I'm in the minority because I got coins. A lot of guys didn't have coins, but like there was no soul you couldn't have done without a kicker. Well, except for the one early on, you had to get an 80 overall kicker. That's all you had to do. But other than that, like and you can sell it back for the same what you bought it for. So you're only losing like tax. But putting a premium on a kicker made it special to have a really good kicker.
Well, should they do that for all cards?
Putting a premium?
Yeah. Should it be hard to get a high overall team?
I mean, it was this year. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. I don't think it should be hard to get a high overall. I think it should be easier for those that spend money, obviously, than most. But I don't think it should be hard. I think it should be hard to probably put red Kims on cards, so that way we're not getting a game revolving around red Kims, and getting a game that can be fun for the first, can just be played without stressing about, I need to get this guy because of this reason alone. So I think that should be more what it is, because then we could actually have a football game as opposed to a game where there's determined outcomes that make the game less fun for some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tough thing to balance. What's that?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm just going to go there. It's a tough thing to balance, and I feel you. I think it should be tough to get a high overall team, but I again am against NAT rewards, and I wish they gave us more packs and coins for the solos in order to allow people to create their own teams. But it seems like a lot of the audience, a lot of the people like the NAT rewards now, so it kind of sucks they went that way.
The people that like the rewards are the ones that get the good luck. So, like, obviously you're going to like the 99 overall Nat Ultimate Legend you get for free if you're getting 99 overall
Kelvin
Bo Jackson,
yeah, Bo
99
Jackson.
overall Jerry Rice. But I know some people that got 97 overall quarterback, like Warren Moon, and 97 overall Jerome Bettis. They'd rather have the coins than those players.
Yeah, like I know some people that got 2 Ray Lewises for their 99 Ultimate Legends.
Yeah, it's like I can't use either of these.
Yeah, like my Ray Lewis that I got for my solos was a bad chem, like a man coverage chem only. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't fucking use this card.
Mm-hmm. And some guys get like a toughness and go deep Randy Moss. Like, okay, that's not fair, but all right, good luck. Thank you. Yeah, you got to get the best cards you possibly could get. And congratulations. So it just comes down to like how good your luck is, obviously, which you can't really like set. So to where you can perform that opinion. So even though the teams like with the gauntlet early on, some people get 90 overall Tom Brady, and me, I get 84 Mark Barron. 83 my fault. 83 overall mark.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's too random, too pack lucky, but that's kind of what the game's based off of, is random pack luck. So the pack luck, I can't really criticize because, like, you know, some people are gonna have better luck than others. I can criticize how bad it is from the EA's side, but for like the people that say the NATs are great because they got blankety blank from the rewards, I totally agree with you there, Tex. They're kind of just like they're a little biased the same way we're biased when we get bad pulls.
Yep.
All right, let's get on to questions. Not a ton of questions, more like statements in the comments from last podcast. So if you guys got questions that you guys want us to answer, let us know. This one, their name is Low Life Basic Ho. Anyways, talks about QB fumbling. QB fumbling is high in MUT because QB injuries aren't a thing. So because you can't injure a quarterback in MUT, you need to punish somebody for running with their quarterback and not sliding a lot, and that's what fumbling is. So if you could take a hit stick or get a strip animation, they should fumble outside the pocket. The person also hated passing and making passing harder. I agree, but as long as like clear out routes work, passing should be a little bit easier. As long as there aren't psychic DBs. What do you think, Tex?
Yeah, I agree. Well, the fumbling thing is weird, though, because like the fumbling wasn't really an issue because I watched the entire competitive tournament where a guy in salary cap just ran with his quarterback and did not slide at all. He just covered the ball before he got tackled.
Yeah, if you hit RB, play on conservative, you won't fumble.
Yeah, like it's just really stupid. So like the fumbling, even though like it's an issue because like guys that have high carry don't really do anything. Like Cam has higher carry than Matt Ryan, but Cam will still fumble the ball on the same frequency basis as Matt Ryan would.
Yeah.
So that's what needs to be addressed with the quarterback fumbling, is that they need to make the rating actually depict on guys in real life and how frequently they actually put the ball in the dirt for what their skill set is. Cam should fumble less since he's more of a scrambling quarterback and knows how to take care of the ball more so than Matt Ryan, but that's not really how that works.
Hopefully carrying plays into effect there. What? Sorry, go on.
It won't. I wish the rating mattered, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Making passing harder and clear out routes, what I said?
Making passing harder.
For 19.
The thing with passing was already hard this year, so I don't think that it's just a 91 zone. And so I don't think we're gonna see that. I think passing is gonna be a little easier next year, just based off what we had to deal with this entire year, and not gonna be able to see a lot of guys out here with top end cornerbacks early on in the year. Mm-hmm. And so running's gonna be harder this year. If you guys play the beta, running is gonna be a lot harder unless you run from under center. That seems to be still overpowered as hell. But like running out of shotgun, running to the outside, like the block sheds are there, and then you end up having to make a play, but like it's not as fluid as one would like. So passing should be the meta early on, unless somebody figures out how to break the game running toss or stretch or something.
Yeah, and they could tune it only slightly, like Clint talked about on the podcast. Like just slight tuning to the run game makes it overpowered or underpowered. So they could tune it slightly and make the running completely change from what we felt in the beta.
Bro, the running, like I've been caught from behind by guys that shouldn't catch me. So like you're not gonna see as many one-play touchdowns as you saw last year. The angle these guys are taking and the pursuit seems to be back. Remember back in Madden 2 years ago, pursuit was better than speed. If your guy had 99 pursuit and he had like 85 speed, he's gonna track down your 99 speed running back. Because pursuit was that overpowered. And so it seems like pursuit is actually back to where you're not gonna be ripping off these one-play touchdowns anymore, or on offense with these toss plays. So even if you were to break to the outside, you're probably gonna get ran down from behind.
Yeah. I don't know if I experienced that as much. I played practice mode a lot, but I did notice the lack of speed on cards. All right, there's a couple of questions that basically, one was about defensive lineman penetration. We went through that earlier on the podcast. Another one's about matchmaking. Clint doesn't have to do anything with matchmaking. We talked about that in the MUT podcast, and we expressed that to the break. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I told, like, because the guy's like, can you bring up matchmaking? Like, dude, you not listen to the other podcast? I know people don't listen to other podcasts, but like, we discussed this with Jake. He didn't see a problem with it, so move on.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned the Backbreaker Euphoria engine has better physics than EA's engine. We'll never know. There's a lot of what ifs in the community, and it's always cool to like think about what if this happened, what if they used another person's engine, what if NFL 2K was still in the game, and it's tough to like, I don't know, think. I mean, it's fun to think about the what ifs, and that's why they do so well on YouTube, like for Madden and stuff. Like, what if this guy got drafted by this club instead? Like, if the Raiders took Kelvin Johnson instead of Jamarcus Russell. Those are great videos. Tough to ask developers, but about a what if on a old game engine. So, let's see. little bit about man coverage, but he said that's going to be tuned. There's another question about Rookie Premier that Tex answered. A couple on analytics. Not a ton of questions, just a lot of comments and stuff that we talked about earlier in the podcast. Anything that stands out to you from the comment section? I'm still looking for anything too crazy.
Well, 2K Football now said blocking comments / explanations really disheartening. We will probably never see realistic blocking in Madden, which is the foundation of football and everything it stems from. The block timer / instance says such a broken system. So, yeah, because Clint last week, for those that are unfamiliar, said that what Guff Fox mentioned earlier in the podcast is the reason why we don't see defensive guys knock back offensive linemen into like passing lanes or into running lanes, because then the game doesn't play how they designed it to, which then causes a mess. And so you're not going to be able to see like an Aaron Donald disrupt a run play or a pass play just by shoving the guy into the quarterback or the running back, because that is not how they want Madden to actually play. So they got the block timer / instant set feature, which we all have our issues with.
Yeah. Obviously the blocking and the line play is some of the worst of the game. Like that's one of the biggest areas that you need to improve.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they're actually going to go into the whole. I would like to see how the game would play if they just said, you know what, just have strength matter, just have these defensive players shove. If they have a higher strength rating by like a certain rating, like Aaron Donald, how good he is going against like a gold lineman. I want to see like how that would look in Madden without the instant block shed, but then with the whole like I can knock this guy back.
Yeah,
I want to see how that would look. That's kind of I don't know how bad the game would be if that was the case, because then that would require everybody to have a higher. That would require people to have to invest heavily into great players from MUT at least.
Which is the whole point of the mode.
Yeah, which is the whole point of the mode. I do want to see that, because like even if it's on like a smaller scale where like Aaron Donald going up against like a gold or a low tier elite right tackle, I'd still want to see like him knock that guy back, because that's what he does in real life.
Yeah. In an ideal world, that is what we get, hopefully in a couple of years.
Awesome.
We got a couple other comments on Clint being vague. We talked about that earlier. There's a couple other, what was the other main comment that, besides the secretive, I think that's about...
Well, somebody mentioned something about the throw and break being also disheartening as well, because he didn't seem to like have an answer for that.
Yeah, a couple of the questions about MUT, even though we told people not to ask about MUT. Little bit about what was this comment? It's going to be Madden 18 with shaders and youth pads. What's the youth pads? Is it because they're really big shoulder pads that we saw in the EA Play build?
That's my guess.
And the shaders is just graphics?
Yeah, it'd be better graphics. Madden 18 with better graphics than smaller pads on players.
Mm-hmm. And then we talked about making it hard to pass makes man boring. We already talked about that in the comment section. Somebody else just asked about it. But that's it. Let us know in the comment section for next week's podcast. Any questions you want us to answer on YouTube. It will be on Texas' channel. Texas, you want to take us out?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. I may or may not put some gameplay up in the future.
Do it. It gets better views with gameplay on it.
These dudes are weird, man. If y'all out here wanting gameplay in the background of the podcast, y'all are weird. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all can be doing anything else in the world or listening to a podcast. You can cut your grass, you can brush your teeth, you can wipe your ass, do a lot of different things besides watching gameplay. But I might just have to put some gameplay back there. So if I put some gameplay back there, I ain't putting timestamps. So y'all get one or the other. You either get some timestamps or you get gameplay. What y'all want?
Wait, you do timestamps? You do timestamps on the videos?
Occasionally.
How occasionally?
Twice.
You've done twice total.
Yeah.
Gameplay is so much easier.
I will make an effort. I will make an effort. If y'all want gameplay, no timestamps. If y'all want timestamps, no gameplay.
Do gameplay over timestamps for just casual ones like this, I think.
Got you. People, why don't people just play soul challenges and listen to the podcast? Why they gotta watch gameplay in the background?
Because it's good to have a little flash going around with the screen changing. Sometimes sometimes people are like on a train and they wanna watch something while they listen on YouTube. So I think it's just the move.
Do you know how those things take to render? You know. But
I know.
They know how long it takes to render?
Yeah, hours.
That shit takes like 8 hours, bro.
Looks like your computer's got a long night.
And this should be going to sleep on me at times, bro. I gotta do it again the next.
Oh, that's the worst.
I'm just gonna live stream the podcast with gameplay from my stream. Y'all can just like get it live and then catch it back after the fact.
I think that works. Yeah.
All right, well, that's episode 120 with my man Fox and myself. 5 stars on iTunes, and we'll catch you guys next week on Fox's channel, where hopefully we get some MUT information because it's been a dry month.
I think it's 2 weeks till MUT information.
They gotta drop something soon, man. Because like, I'm tired of it. Like, they know people don't. Like, I don't know why they keep releasing stuff about Madden 19, like the actual game that's not MUT. Because MUT's not what makes them money. Stop it.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. You still
MUT
is what makes them money.
You still gotta give some sort of I don't know, love to the CFM guys.
No, we don't. They don't make y'all no money. It's like giving love to a homeless person instead of giving love to your boss who actually keeps you employed.
Well, I mean, the CFM guys buy the game. They give them a little bit.
$60 while we make them way more than that.
I don't disagree with you, and
we give
maybe I'm
them
being
enough,
selfish. What's up?
We give them enough money for them to actually play the game.
More total people buy this game for the franchise and for play now than they do for MUT.
I understand that, but more money's poured into MUT than it is for the actual franchise. Even though a lot of people actually have MUT accounts, the 50,000 people that play the game generate more money than CFM players do. Tell you that.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Tell you that. So until CFM players stop putting money in y'all pocket, y'all got to stop updating the game and showing us ratings we don't care about. We want MUT stuff. Even if it's just a nibble. Just a little sprinkle of MUT. Just give us something. Stop with this whole, we're going to give you a MUT content update 3 days for the game that's actually eligible to be played. The game's going to be, it was some MUT stuff on the 23rd. You can play the game on the 27th.
The second.
No, well, 5 days early with EA Access.
EA Access 5 days early is the second.
Well, no, the second is when it comes out, right?
No, the 7th is when it comes out for Hall of Fame Edition.
Oh, so you can play the game. Okay, so the second. So my math is bad. 8 days.
Yep.
That's stupid. 9 days because it's 31 days in July. My point stands that they don't make y'all money, put some MUT stuff out, and stop hiding all the secrets. At least announce like
they're redlining. It's not even done yet.
It's not. We're gonna get there. You're gonna be like placeholder for the sets.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
It's gonna happen. All right, guys. That's all we got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. You have a good one.
See ya.